Hi everyone, it's Diane. I don't have a lot of time right now. I have to go tell a story at church pretty soon. But I wanted to show you what I got done. So I just finished stamping on the handmade paper and tore it and inked it. This is a teddy bear that was stamped on one that I had colored with the Distress Oxide. So I just have a bunch of these ready to be used in layering and collaging on these pages. And I did this little teddy bear watering flowers. And then these two teddy bears on handmade paper. I didn't color them. This was stamped on the one that got messed up. And I was using this to mop up some of the Distress Oxide inks. And I just drew this little frame around it. And then you saw me do those, and then I added some, you didn't see me do this one, I just stamped it on cardstock and left it, stamped some lines on the back and added some washi tape. So I did a couple of those, and then this one you saw me do. And I stamped this little quote that came with the teddy bear stamp set from Stampin' Up. It says, "There's a rip and a tear in my teddy bear, love pours from him everywhere." It's so cute. And there's, it goes with this little teddy bear that's kind of torn. So I have these handy, and what I want to do right now is start decorating some of the pages. So I have some pages over here that I want to do. So I'm going to start with this stencil, I think. Just use some Vintage Photo Distress ink and my blending brush. This is a coffee dyed paper, but this just adds a little more depth. I don't normally take the time to stencil on coffee dyed paper, but I don't have any plain white papers in this book. I don't think I do. Okay, there was something else. I want to look for a stamp with some dots or something that I can add some depth to these pages. These are my collage-y type of stamps. I know I have a dot stamp. Maybe I'll just use that one. I have a stamp with dots on it that's got a wooden block on it. But I'll just use this. This one. And I'm not going to put it on a block. Just want to add a few speckles. And I'm just going to take, just for something different, the peeled paint and just add a little bit of color around the edges. Oh yeah, I like these brushes for stenciling, but I prefer this kind of brush tool for the edges. Very subtle, but you can see it. Okay, now to decorate the page, I have some mulberry paper here. I want to take a piece of mulberry paper. I'll take the greens since I used some green ink on this. Mulberry paper is made with mulberry fibers and it's very fibrous. And it adds a really special touch. You can wet it so you can tear it right where you want to, but I didn't. I just tore it. I'm going to add that there. And on the other table, I want my German book page. Because I love this font. Just put a piece of that right there. And I brought some lace over with me. Just put a little bit of lace on it. Those are not fabric scissors, but that's what I have over here. And then one of these little stamped images. I tore some of that off, so I just want to ink that. I'm going to ink around this book page. Just have a nice little layered collage there. So there's that little collage on the inked copy dyed paper. Oh, I might as well do another one. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I've got time to do one more, I think. Don't need my jacket on anymore. This one isn't copy dyed quite as dark, so should be able to see the stencil a little better. I'll be doing this to one page at least in each signature of each book. And maybe more pages will get that treatment too. There it is. We had some missionaries at our church on Sunday, and actually he grew up at my church. I'm friends with his family, and he was a little kid. He was a kid when I was a teenager. And now he's a grown-up and has kids of his own, and his oldest son just graduated from college, and his son plays the violin. So whenever they come, they are missionaries in Slovakia. When they come, the son, David, brings his violin, and he just is up on the platform with the piano and the organ, just playing along with the hymns. But he's older now, and very, very, very talented. So I played the piano Sunday, and he stood next to me with no music, and if it was a song he wasn't familiar with, he could see my music out of the corner of his eye, he said. But he played just like he knew the song, and he really embellished it, flourishes, and it was gorgeous. His training in Slovakia, he went to a music school in Slovakia, and it was classical training, and oh my goodness, I didn't even want to keep playing. I just wanted to sit and listen to him. But it was inspiring to play next to somebody like that. It was really fun. I used a piece of brown mulberry paper there, as you can see. Some German book page. I'll use this little one this time, I think. That's pretty. And maybe a little green snippet. Oh, I'll get it down there right when it's glued. These are just giant flashcards that were bent up pretty badly. They're the ones I just threw out, but I'm using them to grab the excess glue. Just put a little green color on here. But instead of brushing around the edges, maybe I'll use a little stencil. Very subtle. I don't know if my camera's going to shut off while I do one more, but I'm going to go for it. So if the camera shuts off, then I'll be back later or tomorrow. Go back to the first one. Okay, and do this burgundy color this time. Love this. It's one of my favorite colors. Look at this gorgeous vintage lace. I love that. You can put a little teddy bear right there. This is one I tried embossing on. It has a little fairy with fairy wings on it, which I didn't even realize that was there, but it doesn't show up on the back of it, so I'll just use it. It was many years ago that I did that. That shouldn't have been in the garbage. I'm glad I pulled those cards out. It's a pattern for this little wallet. Paid $3 for it and I still haven't used it. There, done 3 pages. That one has a little teddy bear. That one has some flowers. And that one has some flowers. So I guess it's time for me to get ready to go, and I will be back with you again before you know it. Bye-bye.